What it do, guys? Manjoume here, and today we're going to check out the Versus System two-player card game Marvel Monsters Unleashed set. And here, there's actually a limited edition promo card here, so pretty cool. Let's open it up, which presumably it has not been opened, especially because it has that sticker. Although this is pretty old stock. This originally came out in, I'm going to guess, 2016 or something. This is one of the first expansions. And the wild thing about this being one of the first expansions is that they did a big box expansion for one of their first. Nowadays, this would be a big box expansion for the series, whereas a normal would be right here. So they've really changed the course of how they are designing these expansions and are willing to release them. Now, the big reason I got this, aside from completion's sake, is because there's certain characters that you just cannot find in other expansions that are seen in this one. Even though the front of the box has a lot of characters that you would expect to see, like a Spider-Man and a Hulk, I don't actually think they're in this as main characters. They could be supporting characters, of course, but I wouldn't too much count on that. Now, the cool thing is that this being a big box expansion is that you're going to get multiple teams, which invariably means multiple decks. So I think the last time we did this, the big box from, actually I think it was the Marvel Battles, the very first set, it came with 4 decks as well. Monsters are invading Versus System 2-player card game in the latest expansion, Monsters Unleashed. Choose from several new characters from the Marvel Universe and construct new decks with frighteningly all new content. Build your constructed deck from a total of 400 cards. New card mechanics, streamlined gameplay, easy to learn, difficult to master, 400 all new cards, a full color rule sheet, and the 4 teams in particular are Monsters Unleashed, Leviathans, Inhumans, and Champions. Now, those last 2 are ones that I'm real keen to try out. And the former, well, Monsters Unleashed, I think is generically going to be like Monsters, and I think even Monster Hunters in a weird way. Not too sure what to expect from there. But Leviathans is a really interesting set that I have no context of what that even is. And of course, the game is for ages 12 plus, 2 players, and takes about 30 minutes to play a game. Let's open it up. And this, what? This, so even though this is the Versus System 2-player card game, the expansion, not even a booklet, the pamphlet or sheet of paper is equivalent to what you would get from one of the large expansions of Legendary, a Marvel deck building game, which I mean, it does what it needs to do, I suppose, but that is absolutely wild that they would do that. It's so, I don't know, lacking, unceremonious. So I guess you're not supposed to get this as a base expansion or as your base game because you don't really have a manual. I mean, maybe, okay, new mode, Leviathan Invasion, it's kind of cool. But, like, if you don't know how to play, this doesn't really tell you how to play. 2 main characters at once? Oh, that Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, that's actually really cool. But something I'm actually super keen to try out is the deck lists. Lumbering. Oh, keyword. But yeah, so there's Champions, Monsters Unleashed, Leviathans, and of course, Inhumans. I'm really excited to try that out. And in another video, we'll do the deck list of the suggested starting decks. Okay, so if you do want complete set of rules, it does have a link here. It's just funny that it didn't come with that. I mean, it's cheaper for them to do it that way. And I guess I would prefer to have a lesser piece of paper sheet, but have 4 stacks of cards and a big box. So if I had to choose, this would have been the way I would have gone. They're broken up into 4 decks, each one representing the 4 different teams that are here. And we can see Champions, Inhumans, Monsters Unleashed, and Leviathans. So really cool stuff here, and let's take a look. First up, let's take a look at the Champions deck, which perforation I think is right here. Alright, that works well enough. One thing that I like to, do with my versus cards, and pretty much with any card game that I end up playing, well, that didn't really work. Well, that kind of worked. Is to color coat the sleeves. Some are easier to color coat than others. Some take a little more nuance. So, for example, back in, or I guess fast forward to the Civil War battles, and you're looking at the Iron Man side, I went with yellow as one of the 2 dominant colors on Iron Man. Makes sense. For the other side of this altercation, you have Captain America. For that team, blue. Very easy, very basic. 2 primary colors, really good. Didn't want to go red with either because both have red in their color scheme. I chose the colors that are specific to them individually, right? You run into a lot of overlap with teams like the Defenders. I also picked yellow. Probably the Inhumans, I'll either go black or white. Obviously, it fits the color scheme here. Monsters Unleashed could be red. Could really be anything. I'm not too keen to make it anything super specific. Champions, I guess I could go with either an orange, maybe a yellow. Black, I guess, could also work because of the background. Leviathans is probably going to be a green of some sort, just because of the color of the logo. But please tell me in the comment section below, which color sleeves do you think correspond with each team color? Looking at the main characters, first up, we have Hulk, 6 health, 4/3 spread, brains and brawn. Main yellow and green. Draw a card, put a +1/1 counter on Hulk. Totally awesome. Level up 8 times. When you draw 1 or more cards, or Hulk gains 1 or more 1/1 counters, he gains an XP. His level 2. He now has a 6/6 stat line. Smartest and strongest one there is. Main yellow-green. Draw cards equal to the number of +1/1 counters on Hulk, or put +1/1 counters on Hulk equal to the number of cards in your hand. So very, very simple mechanically, but it seems pretty strong, although it does force you to use those 2 colors, and to use the power, you're using 2 resources per time you use it. That can be very difficult. Miss Marvel. So another cool thing is that I think these are mantles. So this is called Hulk, but earlier we saw there's already a Hulk. This is a person using the Hulk mantle, so they weren't the original Hulk, but they're using the Hulk name now. Likewise, this isn't the original Miss Marvel, but she's now using the name. This one has 5 health, 3/4 stat line, Embiggen. During either player's turn, combat red, Miss Marvel gets +2 attack or +2 defense this combat. Polymorph, level up 12 times. When Miss Marvel gains attack or defense, she gains that much XP. So hopefully you're not going to be relying on Embiggen, because even though that will give you 2 XP, it's going to cost you a resource in order to do it. So it's probably easier to have some plot twist or something like that that will increase you in a way that doesn't use up your locations and colored abilities. Her level 2, 5/8 stat line, still hasn't Embiggen, but gains fan fiction. Main yellow, put 2 +1/1 counters on exactly 2 supporting characters on your side. They are in a relationship. They can team attack together, and they can't be struck back while team attacking. That's actually pretty cute, and I could see that being pretty fun, actually. That's a cool ability. Nova, 5 health, flight, 2/5 stat line, the Nova Force. Main blue, put a +1/1 counter on each character with flight on your side, the Nova Core. Level up 4 times when you recruit a character with flight, Nova gains an XP. His level 2, he now has a 7/6 stat line, still has Nova Force, but gains Dominate the Skies. Main red, enemy characters lose flight this turn, which means they can't stop you from flying over their characters. So that can be very cool to get over and attack a main character. Now we have Spider-Man, another mantle. I guess Nova's the only one who didn't use a mantle. This Spider-Man has 5 health, 2/5 stat line, and Venom Blast. During either player's turn, combat red, choose a character in melee combat with Spider-Man to get -3 defense this turn. Honor the Legacy. Level up 8 times. At the end of your turn, Spider-Man gets 1 XP for each face-up character on your side that shares a mantle, even if it shares a mantle with a character outside the game. What? I guess that would just be any character that corresponds to a character that has a mantle? So either ones with the asterisk or the ones that you know have characters that do have the asterisk? It's a little clunky in the wording, of course, you see all that writing, but I think I do understand what they're getting at. You're just trying to get the champions. You're just trying to get a bunch of them together with their corresponding person, and so he levels up very quickly. Spider-Man level 2 has a 4/8 stat line. He still has Venom Blast, but gains Generations. His level 2 has a 4/8 stat line. He retains Venom Blast, but gains Generations. Build yellow, search your deck for a supporting character that shares a mantle with a character on your side, and put it on your side. So that's pretty cool. You just get their corresponding person. So I guess if they share a mantle, they can still exist side by side. If it were 2 Miles Moraleses, still called Spider-Man though, they can't. But you can have a Miles and a Peter Parker. So I think that's how they, what that's meant to do. I believe the last character is Vision. 6 health, 2/4 stat line, and flight. Zeros, combat red. The defender's attack becomes 0 this combat. Ones, level up 11 times when you recruit a character. Viv gains 1 XP for each 1 printed in its cost, attack, defense, and health. Because a lot of supporting characters have 1 health at the very least. Some of the really cheap ones, or really bad ones, probably fit some of the other qualifiers. So, that could work, and you're definitely building your deck around being able to utilize that level up ability to get level 2. Now has a 5/7 stat line, retains zeros, but gains Reboot. Build green and blue. Shuffle your hand and KO pile into your deck, then draw 7 cards. You can only use this once per game, but that does seem pretty strong. That reset, that reboot, actually seems pretty useful. Going on to the supporting cast, we have Cyclops. 1 cost, 1 health, so that'd be 2 points for Vision. Range in a 2/2 stat line, Trigonomic Blast. Main blue, choose an enemy side and put a -1/1 counter on a main character, front row supporting character, and back row supporting character on that side. So I guess it's like ricocheting off of them. This is a weird one. We have Dinosaur. I like that. 1 cost, 1 health. Flight, a 3/1 stat line, so you'd get 3 points if you're going with Vision there. Support. When Dinosaur appears, put +1/1 counter on another character on your side. So I think that might help out one of the other characters that want when you gain attack and defense, so attack or defense, so Miss Marvel would probably like that. You can see how certain characters cater to main characters correspondingly. So really cool stuff. Is that 4? Okay, that is 4. Wow, already getting to the supporting character version of Miss Marvel. 2 cost, 2 health, 3/3 stat line, and size alteration. While Miss Marvel is in combat, you may discard a supporting character as though it were an either turn combat plot twist. And if you do, her base attack and defense become equal to that character's for this combat. You know what? That could really help. Basically, giving her the ability to turn stronger characters into hand traps. Next up, we have Big Bertha. Big Bertha has 2 cost, 2 health, 1/1 stat line, so it does help with vision, and has rapid weight gain, main green. If Big Bertha has no +1/1 counters on her, put 4 on her. So basically, she doesn't have any to begin with, so you would get those. But after she's been hit once, she will live because she has 2 health, but now she lost all of her counters, so you could use this again to do that rapid weight gain and get the counters back. So she can strike big. We have Dark Star. Dark Star has 2 costs, 1 health, flight and range, but 0/0 stat line. Tap into the Dark Force. Dark Star gets +1/1 for each face down resource on your side. So gets +1 for each. So I think that might go up as turn things upside down. So if you play it at 2, play a face down, or you gain a face down, play a face up, and then it gets turned, I think it would then go up that 1 degree. So not bad. And it's still relatively cheap to play out. Next up, we have Doorman. That's a fun one. 2 costs, 1 health, 2/4 stat line. Doorway to the next room. Main blue. Remove another supporting character from your side from the game, but keep all counters on it. Then put it into your other row. Remove another supporting character from your side from the game, but keep all counters on it. Then put it into your other row. I mean, you're basically just moving it, but with extra steps. I'm not too sure on the usage of that, but I guess we'll see. I didn't know Black Widow was on the team, but I guess she is. 3 costs, 1 health, range, 2/4 stat line, and spy game. Main yellow, choose a random card in an enemy player's hand, but only they look at it. They name a card type, and you say whether the card is that type. They then reveal a card. If you're correct, they discard it, and you repeat the process. That could be monumentally bad for your opponent, but you kind of have to gauge them and be able to read your opponent in a way that may not necessarily be that easy, unless you know your opponent. We have Flatman. 3 costs, 1 health, 5/5 stat line, and 2-dimensional. Flatman can't have any counters, and if he would get wounded, KO him instead. Okay, that's cool. Oh, okay, sweet. Iceman. 3 costs, 1 health, range, 1/4 stat line, and Frosty Welcome, reaction red. When an enemy character appears exhausted, it can't ready this turn. So that's good to keep them in a state of not being able to do anything once they are summoned. Next up, we have Spider-Man, who has 4 costs, 1 health, 4/7 stat line, Venom Blast, same as the main character version, and has invisibility. At the end of your turn, if Spider-Man is ready, you may hide him, turn him face down, but ready. He doesn't count as being stunned. For characters that would be like, oh, KO a stunned character. Well, he's not technically stunned, he's just hiding, I suppose. So that can have some pretty good utility. I didn't know some of these were champions, although I'll admit that my knowledge of the champion team isn't that great or vast. We have Angel, 4 costs, 1 health, flight, 3/6, stat line, wealthy. At the start of your build phase, you gain 1 recruit point. He also has mobile. Once per turn during your main phase, but not during combat, you may move Angel to your front or back row. So that gives him some, not just mobility, but utility to be able to move back and forth. So I guess that means, you could make an attack or team attack and then just kind of choose to move him backward. Could be good. Viv Vision. 4 cost, 2 health, 4/4 stat line, and flight. Our own personal search engine. Build yellow. Look at top X cards of your deck, where X is the number of champion characters on your side. Put any number on top of your deck, then the rest on the bottom. Then draw a card. Pretty cool. Oh, here we have Gwenpool. 5 cost, 2 health, 4/4 stat line, and range. Helpful info about Marvel Universe. When your Marvel main character gains 1 or more XP the first time each turn, it gains an additional, so that's really, really good. In my world, it's all just a CCG. I mean a TCG. Wait, a 2P CG. So that's really cool. And of course, Marvel says it right there. So that's how you designate them, of course. That's fun. Let's go to the next one. Mr. Immortal. 5 cost, 1 health, 7/4 stat line, instant resurrection, reaction green. When Mr. Immortal gets KO'd, put him into his owner's side. So you can always do that, but you need the power to pay in order for it to happen. Immortal, when Mr. Immortal gets KO'd, you may shuffle him into the deck. So either way, he's never going to go to the KO pile, although it says may. You may do this. So you can just choose to let him die, and he won't come back. But there's always an option to just return him to your deck. Here is Nova's supporting character form. 5 cost, 1 health, flight, 5/5 stat line, and the human rocket. While Nova is attacking solo your first attack each turn, he gets +5 attack and cannot be stunned. I was kind of starting to wonder where he was. We have Hulk. 6 cost, 2 health, 6/6 stat line, genius, start your turn, draw a card, and smashing intelligence. When you draw 1 or more cards, put that many +1 counters on Hulk. So with genius, you're guaranteed to be putting counters on him by the next turn he's around. Next up, we have Ghost Rider. 6 cost, 2 health, 5/9 stat line, seek vengeance. When another character on your side gets stunned by an evil attacking support character, stun that attacker. Good loyalty. Put Ghost Rider in your deck only if each card in your deck with a team affiliation is good. So that's very limiting, I suppose, but the way we'll be playing this out, it won't be an issue. Next up, we have Hercules. 7 cost, 2 health, 8/8 stat line, and the Labors of Hercules. At the start of your main phase, each enemy player chooses a character on their side. When Hercules stuns a character chosen this turn, draw 2 cards. Oh, that's a cool way to working lore into that. We have the Champion's plot twist, Baby Avengers. During either player turn combat, choose a character in the combat to get +4 defense this combat. We have Fall Back. During either player's turn combat, if a front row character on your side is defending, cancel the combat and you may move them to the back. Of course, that's very thematic. I like that. See, that's okay. Then we have Tough Kids. During either player's turn combat, choose a character in the combat to get +2 attack and tough this combat. I'm actually kind of surprised that we aren't... Yeah, they... What? Only 2 locations? So they either have to be in something else or we got shortchanged. Which is weird because... Yeah, we're supposed to get, I'm assuming, enough locations for 4 decks. But maybe with the weird numbers we won't? Well, no, that still doesn't make sense. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Well, maybe they're elsewhere, but for now, it looks like we may be a little shortchanged. Next up, we have Change the World, which you need 3 champion characters out to be able to use. Champion's Loyalty. Put this in your deck only if each card in your deck with a team affiliation has Champion's logo. During either player's turn, combat, put 2 +1/1 counters on each character on your side in the combat. Then, for whatever reason, we have 2 Jersey Cities. It's a pretty cool rainbow location, but I'm a little worried that there's only 2 of them and no other locations. That's very odd. But I guess we'll set those aside and go to the next stack, which I would be happy to see the same thing, because at least it's consistent, but I guess we'll see. And I think I see the perforation right there, and that's not too big a deal. If I can, okay, yeah, that's not too bad. Now, hopefully this deck will not disappoint and give us possibly not enough of the special locations. And here we have the Inhumans deck with Black Bolt. 6 health, flight, 2/4 stat line, Sonic Whisper. During either player's turn, combat blue, amplify, stun an enemy supporting character in combat. A Kingdom Lost. Level up 3 times when 1 or more locations are put into your KO pile from anywhere. He gains an XP. So you can actually use abilities from your hand and you would just discard them. So that's one way you can do it, or you, I guess, just play them and then they have to be destroyed for whatever reason, go into your KO pile. He is level 2, 6/6 stat line, so 6/6/6. So fairly strong character at this point. He now has Sonic Scream. During either player's turn, combat green amplify, stun an enemy main character in the combat. So the Whisper is for supporting characters, little time guys, but the new ability does main. Next up we have Crystal. 5 health, flight range, 2/4 stat line, and harness the elements, build each color. She gains an XP. Master the elements, all you have to do is, I guess, just harness the elements to level up to 1 XP, and then you're here. Level 2, unleash the elements. Main every color. Put 4 +1/1 counters on a character on your side. Put 4 -1/1 counters on an enemy character, draw 4 cards, and choose an enemy player to discard 4 cards. So that's actually, 1, really hard to do, but 2, super powerful. And she has a 5/7 stat line. Karnak, 3/4 stat line, 6 health, perceive stress points. Main yellow, choose a number 1 or higher. Enemy players can't recruit or play cards of that cost, that number, until your next turn. The flaw in all things, level up 3 times at the end of each enemy player build phase. Karnak gains 1 XP if that player didn't spend all of their recruit points. That seems like that could be harder to do. But his level 2 has a 5/7 stat line and has the Shatterer. Main red, choose an enemy player to split their deck in half. Remove 1/2 from the game face down. Okay, never mind, that's actually really strong. That's actually really dumb strong. We have Medusa, who has 2/5 stat line, 5 health, and Tangle Up. Main red, enemy characters can't move until your next turn. This includes the Formation step. Ruler of the Inhumans, level up 8 times. When you recruit or play a card with Inhumans team affiliation, she gains an XP. Her level 2, she now has a 5/8 stat line, and you are my hope for the future. Main blue, ready to Inhuman supporting characters on your side. Next up, we have a dual main character. The first of the main characters is Moon Girl, who is a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur character, as well as an Inhuman. She has 4 health, a 1/5 stat line, and BFFs. You start the game with an additional main character named Devil Dinosaur on your side. Smartest person in the whole world. Level up 2 times. When you play a basic yellow location, she gains an XP. Her level 2, 3/6 stat line, let's crack open some science. Build yellow, draw a card, then draw another for each basic yellow location on your side. Oh, do we just not have him in this? So my guess is that Devil Dinosaur might be in, actually no, maybe not this set, but maybe in this set, because I do believe he's a Monster Unleashed, as well as a Moon Girl character. So maybe that's why and how they kind of did this. Captain Swain, 1 cost, 1 health, 1/1 stat line, and Terragenesis. When Swain appears, you may exhaust her, and if you do, put 2 +1/1 counters on her. So you're then in, you weren't able to use her in next turn, someone could just attack her, destroy her, she's gone. Telepathic Nudge. When Swain appears, choose a superpower on a supporting character. It costs 1 power symbol less to use that power the next time this turn. Which is pretty rad. We have Naja, who looks serpentine, I think. 1 cost, 1 health, flight, 1/1 stat line, Terragenesis, so that might just be something that a lot of these characters just have, and also Ferocious, meaning they strike before characters that don't have Ferocious. Sweet, we have Inferno, 2 cost, 1 health, range, 2/2 stat line, Terragenesis, of course, and Pyrokinesis, main blue, move all -1/1 counters on all sides onto an enemy character. So you just kind of like magnetize them and put them onto one character. Really strong. Panacea, 2 cost, 1 health, 1/2 stat line, Terragenesis, and Minor Heal. When Panacea appears, you may heal a wound from a supporting character on your side. Pretty cool. Triton, 2 cost, 2 health, 3/2 stat line, and Plumb the Depths. Build red, look at the bottom 5 cards of your deck. Put 1 into your hand and shuffle the rest into your deck. So they don't even stay at the bottom. Frank McGee, 3 costs, 2 health, range, and a 3/3 stat line, Terragenesis, and Blinding Light. Main blue, daze an enemy main character. Wow, this is a cool one. Grid, 3 costs, 1 health, 2/3 stat line, Terragenesis, and Magnetokinesis. Main yellow, move an equipment from one character to another character who does not have an equipment. Presumably, they still have to be proper targets or users of said equipment. Moon Girl, 3 costs, 1 health, 2/5 stat line, genius, so sorry your turn, draw 1. Mind Switch. Main green, search your deck for a supporting character named Devil Dinosaur and put him onto your side. Shuffle Moon Girl into her owner's deck. You can't use a power called Mind Switch again this turn. So it just swaps them out. It's pretty neat. I wonder if there's a reason you would want her over the dinosaur. Her goodness being that you has genius, so you get to draw a card. That's pretty good. And the fact that she's an inhuman does play with the other humans pretty well. The place I don't see it doing well is if the dinosaur is not an inhuman, which I'm assuming it's not. So it does not have that same team synergy. Maybe that's why you wouldn't want it, but its stat line is probably better than Moon Girl's. So it really depends if you want that power or if you want that extra drop power. Flint, 4 costs, 1 health, flight, 4/4 stat line, Terragenesis, and Geokinesis. Main green, move all +1/1 counters on all sides onto Flint. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. The one character moves them all the negative ones onto a character, and he puts all the good ones onto him. So he might be a chonky boy. Speaking of chonky, we got Lockjaw. 4 costs, 1 health, 4/6 stat line. He is a creature, which I'm not exactly sure what that means yet, but he's also along for the ride. When Lockjaw appears, you may put any number of characters with a total cost of 3 or less from your hand onto your side. There's that. Didn't realize Quake was, but I guess Quake is here. Quake has 4 costs, 2 health, 5/5 stat line, and Vibration Wave. Main green. Push each enemy front row character on a side to their back row, which means they're not protecting anyone anymore. Now we have Ahura, 5 cost, 1 health, range, 2/5 stat line, Soul Split. Main yellow, search your hand, deck, or KO pile for up to 3 cards named Ahura. Put them onto your side. They have Swarm this turn. At the end of your turn, shuffle them into your deck. So you can use them to do huge attacks, and since it's coming from basically anywhere that's still within the game state, that's a cool Shadow Clone Jutsu type of technique. And if you team attack with them, that if you use them, so up to 3 copies, and he's the last copy, so that's 2 times 4, so that's 8 attack, and individually each have 5 defense, which is pretty decent by itself. We have ISO, 5 cost, 1 health, 4/7 stat line, Terragenesis, and Tremendous Pressure. Main red, each enemy player chooses 2 supporting characters on their side and KO the rest. That's actually pretty dumb and really good. Karnak, 5 cost, 1 health, 5/7 stat line, and Flawed Strike. If Karnak gets stunned while defending, he doesn't get wounded unless he was struck for an amount exactly equal to his defense. So they have to get pretty precise and able to take him down. We've got Gorgon, 6 cost, 1 health, 7/6 stat line, and Shockwave. When Gorgon attacks, you may turn a basic location face down. If your opponent doesn't have any, but you do, it says may, so you don't have to choose your own. Ah, of course, the Reader. 6 cost, 2 health, 5/8 stat line. Literary Manifestation. When Reader appears, read a card on an enemy's side or in an enemy KO pile. Then search your deck for a copy of that card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. So if you're doing a mirror match, that's like perfect. Outside of that, you may not be running a lot of the same cards as your opponent. Black Bolt, his supporting character, 7 cost, 2 health, flight, 7/6 stat line, and hypersonic voice. When you play your first plot twist each turn, say its name out loud. Put X -1/1 counters on an enemy character where X is equal to the number of words in that plot twist's name. So I'm kind of wondering about the plot twists now, how good they are. Sweet, we have Medusa. 7 cost, 1 health, 5/5 stat line. The Queen's Gambit, you pay 1 less to a minimum of 1 to recruit Medusa for each Inhuman character on your side. Queen of the Inhumans, when Medusa appears, put 2 +1/1 counters on each other Inhuman character on your side. So really plays well with Black Bolt here. As for their plot twists, we have a Killer Voice. Combat, choose an attacker to get +2 attack and lethal this combat. Emerge from the Cocoon. Main, put 2 +1/1 counters on a character that appeared this turn. The New Humans. During either player's turn, combat, choose a character in the combat to get +1/1 this combat for each +1/1 counter it has. So that's one of those amplifying really good things. Okay, so this one's also got that. So I'm going to guess one of those stacks is kind of small. And that's where the rest of these, for some reason, are. We have Diplomatic Immunity. Here we need 3 Inhuman characters to use this plot twist and Inhuman Loyalty. Put this in your deck only if each card with affiliation has a Inhuman logo. You need 3 in order to play this card in particular, and during either player's turn, combat, characters on your side can't be struck this combat. Their special location is New Atlan, which we only have 2 copies here, but I'm presuming that one of these stacks is going to have the rest. And this might be a little bigger of a stack, but I guess we'll see. We'll go ahead and open the Monsters Unleashed set next, just because I'm vaguely more excited to see what's in this one, opposed to the Leviathans, which just seems like big monster thing. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I'm not too keen on learning as much about them. In fact, why is this level 2 on top? I just noticed that. That's a level 2, not a level 1. Oh, you know what? Okay, I'm an idiot. So, now the reason why there's a level 2 right here is that this is the promo that the front of the package was speaking of. So we'll just set that aside for now and just kind of keep that right there. And look at Elsa Bloodstone, Monsters Unleashed, 5 health, range, 3/4 stat line, and Monster Hunter, main Earth. When Elsa attacks a face-up enemy with the highest attack this turn, she gets a +6 attack this combat. Bloodstone Air, level up 3 times. When Elsa stuns a defender, if it was the highest attack face-up enemy character when attacked, she gains an XP. Level 2 has a 6/7 stat line. Now has Bloodstone Choker. Main blue. Put the top card of your deck into your KO pile. If it's a character, heal wounds from Elsa equal to its own health. Here is Fing Fang Foom. 6 health, flight, 3/4 stat line, acid mist. Main blue. Put a -1/1 counter on each front row enemy character. No place on Earth that will give you safety. Level up 8 times when enemy character gains 1 or more -1/1 counters. Fing Fang Foom gains an XP. Now looking at his level 2, this is where the promo comes in, where it's the exact same card, different artwork. I gotta say, this artwork is definitely better. And in general, I like it when level 1 and level 2 have different artwork. Although I understand they do the same one so that you know this one logically turns into this one. But personally, I prefer when they do change. Now he has a 7/7 stat line and has Hibernate, main green-yellow. Fing Fang Foom is hibernating. If he is face up at the end of your turn, heal a wound from him. When he attacks, defends, or uses power, hibernation ends. Goom. Goom has 6 health, flight, a 4/3 stat line, de-aging, time machine. Main blue, put -1/1 counters on an enemy character until its attack is less than Goom's. Cower before the all-powerful Goom. Level up 5 times. When Goom strikes an enemy character with lower attack than Goom's, he gains an XP. So you kind of need to do that to guarantee it. You don't have to. Early on, you probably won't need to, but later on in the game, if you're not able to turn him until he's level 2, you're going to have to start doing that. Especially because his level up is 5, so you have to do it a few times. Goom level 2, 4/9 stat line, and father of Googum. Ugh. Build green. Search your deck for a supporting character named Googum and put him onto your side, and or put 2 +1/1 counters on a supporting character named Googum. We have Kid Kaiju. 0/4 stat line. Monsters are my friends. Build Earth. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Put 1 Monsters Unleashed from among them into your hand and the rest of the bottom in any order. That's really strong. 5 fingers, make a fist. Level up 1 time at the start of your turn. You may remove a Monsters Unleashed supporting character from your hand, front row, back row, resource row, KO pile from the game. They must have each a different name, and if you do, he gains an XP, which is pretty costly in order to do. But his level 2 actually does have different artwork, which I love. Has a 9/9 stat line, so it's obviously very worth it. Flight and range and smasher. Kid Kaiju has the following powers based on which of the characters you remove from the game using 5 fingers make a fist. Aegis durable, Hivo lethal, Makara monstrous, Scrag dodge, and Slizik mobile. I mean, because remove a supporting character from your hand, front row, back row, resource row, and KO pile. They all have to have a different name, so that's 5 right there. So I guess you're guaranteed to get this because you would always have to have 5 different ones, unless there's happens to be different ones in the game. Moving on to Devil Dinosaur. As predicted, he is a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur character, as well as a Monsters Unleashed. 4 health, 2/4 stat line, creature, and Devil's Advocate. You start the game with an additional main character named Moon Girl on your side. The mightiest of all. Level up 2 times. When you play a basic green location, he gains an XP. His level 2, he has a 6/4 stat line. Still a creature, but gains Dynamite. Main green, put a +1/1 counter on Devil Dinosaur, and another one for each basic green location on your side. So it plays very much like Moon Girl does. Tim Boo Ba. 1 cost, 2 health, 2/2 stat line, and Terror of the Microverse. When Tim Boo Ba appears, KO all supporting characters with cost 1 or less. Enemy players can't recruit characters with cost 1 or less. Creature from the Black Bog. 2 cost, 1 health, 6/6 stat line, and friendly. The creature from the Black Bog can't attack. So if he can't attack, presumably you just kind of put him in front of a character to, I guess, protect them. Ooh, there's Googum. 2 cost, 2 health, 2/2 stat line, and children grow up so fast. At the start of each turn, put a +1/1 counter on Googum, so he starts building up. It's pretty cool. It's almost like a level character in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, where just each turn it just keeps getting stronger. Whereas in the game, the original ones just kind of went from 3 to 5, and then like 5 to 7 or something along those lines, depending on the one. We have Hivo, which I think was one of the Kid Kaiju characters. 2 cost, 1 health, range, 3/2 stat line, lethal. When Hivo wounds a defending supporting character, KO it. High voltage, combat blue. When Hivo gets +X/+0 defense this turn, where X is equal to the defender's health. That's pretty interesting. It's weird that it has no set value, but I can kind of see it. Elsa Bloodstone, 3 cost, 2 health, range, 3/3 stat line, Bloodstone Fragment. When Elsa appears, choose 2 of these for her to gain. Durable, Fearless, Lethal, or Regeneration. Regeneration seems like a pretty strong one. Unless you're going very I guess, aggressive. Scrag. It's a pretty cool one. 3 cost, 1 health, flight range, 4/4 stat line, dodge, can't be range attacked, and spit insect swarm, main earth. Enemy characters lose and can't gain range and dodge this turn. Oh, here's Devil Dinosaur. So this is that mind switch mechanic. Ferocious, that's good. Creature, not really sure what that means. Mind switch, so I think it just swaps it back with Moon Girl, but you can't do that again that same turn. And a 4/2 stat line. I think hers was more defensive than offensive, so there's why you would have him. And he has Ferocious, whereas she has Genius. Hey, there's Aegis. 4 cost, 1 health, 5/5 stat line. Durable. If Aegis would get stunned other than by getting struck in combat, he doesn't get wounded. When Aegis gets stunned other than by getting struck in combat, you may recover him. Impenetrable armor. During either player's turn, combat green. Aegis gets plus defense equal to his attack this turn. That actually is pretty strong. Kid Kaiju. 4 cost, 1 health, 2/4 stat line. Draw monsters. Play with the top card of your deck. Oh, so you get to see what's coming up. When you draw a Monsters Unleashed supporting character for the first time on your turn, you may put it onto your side. Wow. That's actually really good. Pildor. 4 cost, 1 health, range, 6/3 stat line. The Plunderer. Pildor the Plunderer. Alright. Main yellow. Choose an enemy player to discard a card, then you draw a card. That's great. That's really good, actually. Goom. 5 cost, 2 health, flight, 4/4 stat line. Puny Earth is no match for the strength of Goom. At the start of each turn, put 2 +1/1 counters on Goom. Wow, the whole family just gets buffer and buffer each turn. Makara. 5 cost, 1 health, 5/7 stat line. Monstrous. While Makara is defending against a melee team attack, she strikes back against each attacker. You know what? I think Abomination has that ability as well. Shatter Sword. During either player's turn, combat green, reduce each attacker's defense by half, round it up. I like that name. Monstro. 5 cost, 1 health, 0/0 stat line, menace from the murky depths. Monstro appears with 8 +1/1 counters. Return to its normal size. When Monstro gets attacked, remove a +1/1 counter from it for each attacker. So the more people you throw at it, the weaker it becomes. Ooh, these are pretty cool. We have Slizik, 6 cost, 1 health, flight, 7/6 stat line, mobile. Once during your main phase, but not during combat, you may move it to the front or back row. Fire Breath, Strafe. Main blue. When Slizik attacks a back row character for the first time this turn, he may stun a front row supporting character on that side. Thing that crawls by night. 6 cost, 1 health, 5/8 stat line. Nothing is too big for it to attack. If all characters on an enemy side are stunned, the thing that crawls by night can melee attack a location on that side, and when it strikes a location, KO it. That actually helps out one of the other characters that when a location goes to the KO pile, although I'm not sure exactly if it counts like the opponents on that main character. This one would, obviously. This one reminds me of an Invisible. Fireclaw, 7 cost, 1 health, and 9/7 stat line, which is pretty good. Has Pounce. While Fireclaw is attacking an exhausted character, it can't strike back at him. Stalk the Prey. Main Earth. Exhaust an enemy character and move it to its front row. Here's Fing Fang Foom. 8 cost, 2 health, flight, 14/14 stat line, which is pretty strong, and has Solitary, meaning he cannot team attack. Not that he generally needs to, being so darn strong. Massive. Fing Fang Foom attacks rows instead of characters. He strikes with his full attack against each defender in that row. That's really good. Take a look at Zootak. Asterisk cost, 1 health, 7/5 stat line, the thing that shouldn't exist. Can't appear unless he's painted to life. Paint to life. During your build phase, if you have 4 different color power symbols on 4 of your locations, you may put him from your hand onto your side. If a location has more than one symbol, it can count as any one of them. Pretty cool utility. I do love the, what is it called? Onomatopoeia on this. Crackle, Thoom. Plot twist, combat. Choose an attacker with 5 attack or higher to get +5 attack. So it's already going to be strong, and it's just going to get stronger. The bad thing is that if it's not strong enough, you just can't use it. Monsters Unleashed. During either player's turn, combat, choose a defender to get +2 attack and monstrous this combat. So that one's more, I think, better utility. This time we have the fight is finished. I guess Kid Kaiju and Moongirl like to hang out sometimes. During either player's turn, combat, put a supporting character on your side in the combat into its owner's hand. Put a supporting character on your side. I guess maybe if it doesn't have a lot of health left and you want to protect it, put it back in your hand. Or I guess generally just to keep it from dying on the next turn. It's an interesting concept. Oh, here's their triple Monsters Unleashed ability. Flatten, where you need the loyalty of the Monsters Unleashed. If it has a team affiliation, it has to have that team. You need 3 of them on board and they're able to use it. And the main, put -1/1 counters on an enemy supporting character until its defense is 1. Then the special location is Moo. Wow, that is interesting. This special location isn't rainbow like the other ones have been. Rather, it is earth or blue, yellow, or green. So there's no red to be mentioned. I'm assuming there were definitely reds somewhere here. I think Elsa may have had it. Unless I'm wrong, and a key aspect of this team is that they just don't have red. No, she doesn't even have a color. Maybe the main character version did. No, I guess it doesn't. Unless I'm wrong, I think each character, period, they never use the red symbol, so it kind of does make sense for their location to just omit that and have Earth as their symbol there. So that's interesting. Now, this, I hope, kind of is the smallest set because we're missing 2 special locations and each basic location from all 3 of those decks. To the point of there may not be anything here. Yeah, I guess we'll see soon, but I'm not too sure what to expect from this deck in particular, because I honestly know the least about the character, whoever the Leviathan mother is. But I hope it's fun, at least. And if it does seem that we're missing cards, which we could be, I'll have to contact Upper Deck. And it's always weird when you're not too sure. It was a lot more straightforward with the OG set. It just, each set, group of cards just had the right exact amount and had the basic cards in each, so I never had to worry about this. Let's take a look at Leviathan Mother, who I think that's like a Leviathan team. Level 1, 7 health, 2/5 stat line, creature, come forth my servitors. Build, I think that's space or yellow, search your deck for a Leviathan servitor, put it onto your side. My children will crush the resistance. Level up 30 times at the end of your turn. Leviathan Mother gains XP equal to the total attack of all face-up one-of-a-kind characters on your side. Level 2 has an 8/8 stat line. It now has no mere monsters can defeat me. During either player's turn, combat green or red, the Leviathan Mother gets plus 8/8 this combat. That's really strong. And I'm going to say right now that this location is going to have red, green, yellow, space, and no blue at all. Okay, getting right into the supporting character. So this is the one main character. If you're playing this team, you're playing as the Leviathan Mother and literally no one else. Leviathan Servitor, Creature, Swarm, Legion, Stealth. This character can melee attack back row characters even while they're protected. 1 cost, 1 health, 2/2 stat line. Oh wait, what? I think Swarm means you can have any number. I think Legion might actually expand it to past the 4. I mean, obviously, I think it goes up to 8. But aside from that, we have the one-of-a-kind characters, including Leviathan Demolisher. 2 cost, 1 health, 2/3 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Comet Fall. When Leviathan Demolisher appears, put a -1/1 counter on an enemy character. Tectonic Impact. When Leviathan Demolisher appears, turn an enemy location face down. Plasma Throat Leviathan. 2 cost, 2 health, range, 4/1 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Lumbering. As Plasma Throat Leviathan attacks, the defender chooses who the defender is. That's kind of neat. Serpentine Leviathan. 2 cost, 1 health, 4/4 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Intimidating Roar, main yellow. Enemy characters can't use superpowers this turn. That's pretty good. Fanged Leviathan. 3 cost, 1 health, 3/4 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Comet Fall. When Fanged Leviathan appears, put a -1/1 counter on each enemy character. Sudden Impact. When Fanged Leviathan appears, you may wound an enemy main character that has no wounds. Leviathan Crusher. 3 cost, 1 health, 6/4 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Pummel, main red. KO a supporting character with a cost of 2 or less. Turtle Shell Leviathan. 3 cost, 2 health, 4/4 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Lumbering and Berserker. When Turtle Shell Leviathan attacks, put a +1/1 counter on it. Eggplant Leviathan. 4 cost, 2 health, 8/2 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Lumbering and Invade. When Eggplant Leviathan is attacking back row characters, it can't strike back at it. Furnace Chest Leviathan. 4 cost, 1 health, 5/7 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Chest Furnace. Main space. Remove a stunned supporting character from the game. Leviathan Hydra. 4 cost, 1 health, 6/6 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. 2-headed. Main space. Leviathan Hydra may attack an additional defender each time it solo attacks its turn. Both defenders must be in the same row, and Leviathan strikes both with its full attack. Savage Leviathan. 4 cost, 1 health, 5/4 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Comet Fall. When Savage Leviathan appears, put a -1/1 counter on each enemy character. Staggering Impact. When Savage Leviathan appears, you may push front row enemy character to its back row. Charging Leviathan. One-of-a-kind creature. 5 cost, 1 health, 11/3 stat line. Relentless Charge. Main green. Charging Leviathan can't be stunned during its next attack this turn. Leviathan Shambler. 5 cost, 2 health, 7/6 stat line. One-of-a-kind creature. Lumbering and ferocious. Leviathan Vanguard. 5 cost, 1 health, 5/9 stat line. One-of-a-kind creature. And Revere the Mother. Main yellow. Put 3 +1/1 counters on the Leviathan Mother. Spiked Leviathan. 5 cost, 1 health, 6/6 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Comet Fall and Disintegrating Impact. When Spiked Leviathan appears, you may remove an enemy KO pile from the game. Wow, just a whole KO pile? Jeez. I wonder it's one-of-a-kind. Blazing Leviathan. 6 cost, 2 health, 8/6 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Lumbering and lethal. When Blazing Leviathan wounds a defending support character, KO it. Death's Head Leviathan. 6 cost, 1 health, 7/7 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Terrifying Gaze, main green. Enemy supporting characters have -1 health to a minimum of 1 this turn. Leviathan Beast. 6 cost, 1 health, 6/8 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Comet Fall and Concussive Impact. When Leviathan Beast appears, you may daze an enemy character. Dual Maw Leviathan. 7 cost, 1 health, 8/7 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Comet Fall and Mind-Blowing Impact. When Dual Maw Leviathan appears, each enemy player discards 2 cards. Leviathan Brute. 7 cost, 2 health, 10/10 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Lumbering and angry. Must be in your first attack each turn if able. It can team attack though. Rampaging Leviathan. 7 cost, 1 health, range, 7/9 stat line, one-of-a-kind creature. Rampage. Main red, KO at a location. On to the plot twist, which seems pretty early to have them. We have property damage. You need to have 3 Leviathans on board and have their loyalty. So if you have a team, all your characters might have that team affiliation. Main, each player KOs a resource on their side. Okay, so here's the rest of the cards, I guess. Leviathan Tide. Again, you need to have 3 of them. Leviathan Loyalty, so each one has that, I suppose. Main, KO each stunned enemy supporting character. It's pretty rad. Another plot twist that needs 3 of them. The Queen demands tribute. During either player's turn, combat, choose an enemy attacker to get -3/3 this combat. Oh, here's their special location, which, never mind. Oh, no, yes, I was right. So it's space, yellow, green, red for a Leviathan character, the Desecrated Nest. So whereas the Monsters Unleashed one had earth and omitted red, this one has space, so the opposite, and omits blue, but keeps the red. So you'd see how they kind of oppose each other. And there are 4 of those. And 4 red, so it goes to that deck. To that deck? No, wait, so maybe... So we have the Monsters Unleashed group, the Inhumans, the Champions, and now the Leviathans. We have 8 red, so that's 2 sets of reds. So let's go ahead and just put them here for now. 2 sets of blue. Presumably each team's going to have a full set, but it's kind of weird the way they're segmented. Unless, for whatever reason, they're running less, but that doesn't really make sense. But let's try to do this first. So 1, 2 sets of green. No, 3 sets of green. Then 1, 2, 3 sets of yellow. What is with these numbers? 1 set of... Oh, Earth is a basic location. Okay, so... Earth likely goes here. And let's see what else. We have space, which no doubt goes here. 2 more New Jerseys. 2 of those. 2 of those. So somewhere these are not allocated right. This is so confusing. Because, okay, so my guess, see, 4, 4, 4, and 4. That's basic, and you would do that. That shouldn't be an issue. But same thing here, should not be an issue either. But we only have, and then you have the Earth here, but then you literally just have these 8 left between the 2 teams, and that doesn't really make sense. Like, even if you took out, based on their special location, you take out one of them, they would still need... Well, no, that doesn't even make sense, because you fill up that space with this, so they would still need yellow, green, red. It feels incomplete, but this is where it gets interesting. In these deck lists, it seems here that the location numbers are varied so that you can turn this combination to full decks. Because, for example, the Inhuman set, you have 4 of the rainbow location, but 2, 2, 3, 2. So you're not running full numbers. So with the number of 2s, I think it kind of balances out. Now, this one, Jersey 4, obviously that's the main one. Academy 4, 3, 3, 2. That one does use more. 4, doesn't matter. 4, 2, 3, 2. And then Leviathans is 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. I'm going to have to get back to you guys in another video to see if we actually can assemble each of these decks at one singular time, or if you kind of don't have a choice and you can do 2, maybe 3 at a time, but certainly not 4 at one time, which would kind of suck. I mean, obviously we have other sets that we can borrow cards from momentarily, or I could just go out and like buy whatever, specifically those cards, because these are probably super cheap just to get a basic training ground. It doesn't have to thematically fit art-wise. Doesn't matter. But for now, that's been Marvel Monsters Unleashed for the Versus System 2-player card game. Which team are you going to rep? Which main character do you want to see face against which other main character? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to stay up to date with my videos and live streams on both YouTube and Twitch, check out links in the description below, like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining. That's all for now, guys. Manjoume out.